Hey everyone, Drew Murray from D20 Advice here, and this is day 17 of My 30-Day World, or hashtag My 30-Day World, Absolute Tabletops project that I'm really enjoying. So I'm carrying on with it. I don't know why I feel very apologetic about it. I feel like I'm annoying people by talking about it all the time. This is something of mine I just need to get over. But yes, I'm here to annoy you once again with my stuff. So today is getting my phone. What rare and interesting races populate your world? None really. The Taihun world is shush. Jesus Christ! All right, there we go. Put it on silent. Yeah, well, the Taihun's bog standard in terms of fantasy races. Elves, dwarves, humans, gnomes, and halflings are the core elements there. Tieflings or tieflings. Don't know why I'd always used tieflings, and tieflings has just kind of slipped into my vocabulary. Azamar, Dragonborn, they're all there. Dragonborn are different in mine though, so I suppose I'll talk about that. Dragonborn are randomly born into races. So rather than Dragonborn being their own distinct race, they may form their own cultural groups within societies, but they won't be a separate race. Very few of them get to breed, so there's no like scientific evidence of what happens when a Dragonborn has a child. Dragons have mostly disappeared from the southern kingdoms, and this is where most of the Dragonborn are born. Some people think that it's the souls of dragons long since dead reincarnating into people, and so when they are in the womb, they are mutated into this dragonborn form. Others think that they are cursed by dragons. They are tolerated in society, not like accepted and treated like celebrities or anything, but they aren't given any overt negative attention. And when I say that, that means that there will be some negative attention from some people, but by and large, it's not the case. The problem comes from the fact that the negative attention that they get from other people, it's because it's not systematic, it's not everywhere. It's kind of permissed in a certain way. So kind of like when you get a small community and you get, the neighbors are new and from out of town, you'll get people a bit wary of them. A few other people like outright saying, hey, you're from out of town, I don't like that. And no one's gonna say, hey, that's a big deal that you're saying they're from out of town. They'll just go, just ignore him, come over here, play with the cool kids. So that's how it is with Dragonborn. So most people won't like start lighting torches and getting lynch mobs to go and hunt down the racists. The few and far between that they are. Sorry, I'm shifting things about. They occasionally gather together in gangs, especially in large cities. But you'll probably have like one Dragonborn to a town, if that. So most towns and villages that they'll be without a Dragonborn, but some cities you'll have a dozen or so. So it really depends. Some people even move to the city to find like a Dragonborn group, so that they can all get together. But of course, then people start whispering like, "What are these Dragonborn all doing together? Is this part of some conspiracy?" So there's that to play off of. There's scope for cool adventures. There isn't like a hard and fast, this is the one thing that happens with this. This is just a thing that exists. This is how it's generally received. And so when you're running a game of Taihun, you can have anything come to the fore that you want to explore. If you want to explore ideas of prejudice, based on things that are out of control factors. You can explore what is that controlling factor. You can explore, well, how do you deal with the society that is like that? What if they really are all conspiring together? How do you deal with a society that is suspicious based on very little evidence, but that they're actually right? How do you cope with that? And that could be a really good tool for going through actual societal things. One of the best things about science fiction and fantasy is that you get to explore real world allegories and be able to add in or take away certain elements. It's like the trolley problem. The trolley problem is a fantastic tool used to sort of analyze not how you solve that problem, but what your thought processes are and examining those. So having a think about racism by taking our real world politics out and then having a relatively objective view of it. It's still subjective, but you're outside of it. So your subjectivity is being applied to an outside resource. So that can help people gain new perspective on things. It's a fantastic tool used by all sorts of people. Lots of old psychotherapies and things are all about externalizing things. Demons and stuff is just like the bad thoughts given a personality, and it's like, oh, kick those demons out, throw salt over your left shoulder, and that and it gives people like a psychological out to behave better. So role playing through things, bit of make believe, bit of problem solving with the externalization of factors helps a lot of people cope with a lot of stuff. So that's what role-playing games can do for you. That is not really the point of this video. Let's get back on track. So, Dragonborn, not the bog standard cookie-cutter Dragonborn, but they're not a rare and interesting race. They're just an interesting race in this setting. Most settings have them as their own discrete race. They are a special group outside of the rest. But no, two humans can copulate and have no draconic lineage, and Dragonborn pops out. Or have no known draconic lineage. The issue is I haven't settled on a single origin yet. And I kind of don't want to. I want to have it be this mystery of where do they come from, and have several reasonable answers that can't really be proven or disproven without attaining God status, essentially. Gaining godlike knowledge. It's like finding the name of the second person who came up with the idea for the Great Wall of China, got to the Emperor's throne room, and then realized that he was just 5 minutes too late. Like, that person's name is not recorded in history at all. Like, finding out that person's name is a near impossible task to do, if that person ever existed. So I was to say that the same thing is true of the origins of the Dragonborn, that because they just spontaneously started appearing, from the mortal race's point of view, they just started appearing. It could be that dragons have a belief that their souls are reincarnated, and that Dragonborn are the Feyweave's attempt to have a second go. Like, the dragons were put there by the Feyweave. They were like a natural evolution of the Feyweave in the material plane, and the dragons were supposed to like usher in the Feyweave apocalypse, essentially. And the dragons are like, we kind of like look of gold. So maybe the Feyweave's going, all right, round two, let's try disseminating different draconic type people into the world. Or it could be just the touch of the Feyweave just naturally turns things into dragon type things. It could be that the gods, the Taihun, realizing that they are so abstracted from things, have sent like a beam of radiation to mutate everyone into Dragonborn, and because of the weird time-space stuff, like the particles are being shot in super slow motion, and so it's like every 100 years or so it hits the planet, and like 10 people turn into Dragonborns or something. It could be that the dragons themselves performed some sort of ritual with a whole bunch of their followers and deliberately reincarnated their souls with intention. These could all be things that were done, and it could be that some of them worked or none of them worked. or all of them worked. And so you could get different types of Dragonborn because of the different things that happened. That's not something I've settled on. I don't think I want to settle on one definitive thing, but one thing I am interested in developing is these various backgrounds for why the Dragonborn could have been a thing. Gnomes I've gone into several times in a few of these videos, so I don't think I will go into them now. Rare and interesting races. I'm fairly permissive when it comes to content being allowed in games that I run, and so it will be with the Taihun campaign. It's fairly permissive in that I've mapped out the southwest corner of a continent, and that's got a good mix of things going on. I've mapped out a far eastern section, and I know that there's an ocean between with several islands, and a couple of those islands have also been mapped out, but that's it. There's loads of unmapped territory there from the perspective of these things, and so also from my perspective. And then there's loads of like northern stuff. The South Pole hasn't been done at all. Like I've not done anything there. The realm of the dead, like there's a few key points there, but the entire half of the planet hasn't been done. Ferrigion in the north, again, I've done like roughly twice the size of the southern southwestern continent piece mapped out. But that's only really dealing with a few dragons, beholders, giants, and orcs. And then you've got like kobold nests and things dotted about the place, and wild animals and things. That's leaving a lot of scope, a lot of landmass for other things. It's leaving a lot of room to expand on these things. It could be that the elven kingdoms in Enon, the southwest region, that's it. That's all the elves. That could be the case. It could be that elves have spread everywhere else. I know that in my head I've got humans as being fairly numerous and stuff, but there's no like human empire. There is no one king or queen of humans. There are different kingdoms that do not agree with each other. As I said in one of the previous videos, racial divides are less of a thing. Political divides are much more of a thing. So being from the Elven Empire matters more than being an elf, which is why drow are such an interesting thing, because some humans will trust a drow more than they will an elf, like another type of elf, because the drow just don't mess with humans. Drow mess with the elves. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough for this episode. I don't know why I called it an episode. I should probably call them episodes. I feel like they're episodes. They're cool as episodes. That's it for this episode. Join me next time when I'll be talking about a thing. And that thing that I'll be talking about is totally a thing that I'm not just looking up on my phone right now. I am not holding my phone in front of the computer screen. Oh, you saw a bit of it there. Never mind. What relics of the past shape the present? What relics of the past shape the present? That'll be an interesting thing to know. Do you know what interesting things shape the present? Interesting relics and things. That would be an interesting thing. Oh my god. Oh, that's going to be such a cool video. Oh, I've got a thing. I drew some of the relics like years ago when I first started running this campaign setting, and right, yes, that's going to be a good one. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.